Blessings. Welcome to today's Law Enforcement Daily Devotional. Today we're in Isaiah and we're in chapters 13 through 16. And today was an interesting read because we go from evil through these 4 chapters to good. And we finish off with good, and it's a good way to finish. But starting in today with chapter 13, in verse 11, there was a list, if you caught it, there was a list of 6 things or characteristics that you do not want to be. It's a good thing to check ourselves against to make sure that we're not in any of these categories. And if you're in law enforcement, I seriously doubt you are, but it's always good to check. Number 1, don't be evil. Number 2, don't be wicked. Number 3, don't be arrogant. This is where law enforcement can get tripped up. Number 4, don't be proud. And you may say, what's the difference between being evil and wicked? Well, there's a difference. And it may be something good to research. There's a difference between arrogance and being proud. Number 5 is don't be haughty. Don't be self-absorbed. And it goes right along with pride and arrogance. Number 6 is do not be ruthless, and ruthless goes with wickedness and evil. But the number 6 in the Bible is usually the number of our flesh. The number of the beast in Revelations is 666. When you look at Goliath, who was the perfect fleshy human, he had 6 fingers and 6 toes, and there's 6 pieces of armor that were listed, and the list goes on and on and on. But the number 6, it's very interesting today that there are 6 characteristics of evil. And then Isaiah moved from there to something that really shouldn't surprise us in chapter 14. Verse 12 is kind of, well, let me say this. Isaiah's been dropping clues and prophecies about Christ. And today he drops this piece of information about Satan and Satan's fall, how he fell from heaven. And then in 14:14, there's kind of this little confirmation for me when I was reading this. The subject, who is Satan, says, "I will make myself like the Most High," which immediately takes us back to the lie he told Eve in the garden to get her to eat the apple, or not the apple, the fruit that led to rebellion. This, hearing him say that is a reminder of what he told Eve, and it just lines up with his character. So we go from 6 things that list what evil is into Satan. It's really interesting how he leads in with that. And then we jump into chapter 16 and verse 5, and it talks about this throne. After he gives all these woes for these different countries, he talks about this throne that will be established. And the throne is established in loving kindness, and it is also what will come out of the throne that is really important here. Because if you read what comes out of this throne, out of this rule, it's justice and righteousness. Now, those are the very foundations of God's throne. We've read that. So this is Jesus' throne that is reestablished. And just like the Father's throne, justice and righteousness. Really important. I know I keep saying that and you keep hearing it. We just can't hear it enough. We've got to beat that lesson into us that justice and righteousness come from Him. And we need to acknowledge that. So anyway, good law enforcement takeaway from today. Tomorrow we're in Isaiah chapter 17 through 22. Read ahead, find a law enforcement takeaway. Let's come back here and discuss them tomorrow. In the meantime, be safe.